or everywhere. Get this with the free Odyssey app and try out that rewind feature. My show on your time. Test it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show. Now that I woke everybody up, how are we doing today? An NFL Sunday. We're going to lead you in with some great pro wrestling, man. You got to get excited about that. Lots of fun going on inside those ropes and outside it as well. And we're going to have it all for you as we go through 2 hours here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Also streaming on the Odyssey app. If you do not have the Odyssey app, well, you're a lifetime failure. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Get that Odyssey app right now, AUDACY, and come out of that dome of failure and join the Odyssey family. Great stuff on there from shows like the Steve Sanchez Show and all our terrific programming on KDAWN, and from all over the Odyssey network and around the world. You will not believe what all is on that app, so make sure you check it out, AUDACY. Also live streaming, YouTube, X, and Facebook, at Mark Hoke Show on X, Facebook, and YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show, and you can come in and join the fun. Hop in the chat box, say hi, tell us what you think. Tell us what you don't think. I don't know. Tell us what you're having for breakfast. Doesn't matter to me, but just come on and interact with us. We always appreciate that. So it's a lot of fun on that live stream. Without further ado, I will bring in one of my fine cohorts. He is something special, to say the least. Let's say hi to our good friend from Ad-Free Shows. He is the real Coach Rosey on Twitter. Coach Rosey, Josh Rosenbaum, what is up, sir?
Man, it's a good Sunday. It's the first day of the football season. A little bit upset about my Sun Devils blowing it yesterday, but it's a new day. Sorry I haven't been on the last couple of weeks, but been kind of busy traveling the road with Lainey Wilson. I'm doing her meet and greets. So the worlds of professional wrestling and country music are coming together.
Very nice. That's cool. Keeping yourself moving. You were in Saskatoon?
Yeah, I was in I went to Bret Hart's bar too in Calgary. What a dump.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was filled with fake memorabilia, and nobody was in there. So it was a quick visit. It was inside the Cowboys Casino in downtown Calgary. But yeah, we were in Calgary, Edmonton, and Saskatoon, 3 great Canadian cities on the Great Plains of Canada, and 3 great crowds. I love Canada.
Calgary is awesome. That is a beautiful city there for sure. I've been to Calgary a bunch of times. Great. Even in the wintertime when it's, minus 9,000 up there, still a great place to go. So, well, we're happy to have you back on the show, Coach, and looking forward to talking some wrestling with you. How are things going at Ad-Free Shows, by the way?
Oh, great. We have a big Zoom tonight with Tony Schiavone, who's going to be giving the ins and outs and what happened and what didn't happen at MJF's wedding.
Ooh.
So if you're interested in finding out some of the details from MJF's wedding, Tony was there, Double J was there, a lot of Ad-Free Shows people were there, and kayfabe was not really seen at the wedding, so there could be some good tales that the cameras didn't catch.
Hangman was there. Hangman was there. He was there. Everybody saw him. But yeah, so pretty cool. And congratulations to MJF and Alicia Toot for their nuptials. Alicia, I wish you all the best, sweetheart. You have a great time with that young man. Oh, yeah. But they're in love. It's all good. It's all good. Coach, this was not a ton of news overall, but some pretty big stories this week. And I think we have to say the biggest one took place on SmackDown on Friday night as the skipping psycho AJ Lee makes her return to professional wrestling after almost a decade away. She was pulled into this combat with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, and it looks like we'll be seeing those four battling it out at WrestlePalooza on the 20th. But it's interesting that I think if you look behind the scenes a little bit, you could kind of see from videos how happy and proud Punk was to have her back in the ring, and AJ looked pretty happy about it too. She signs a full-time deal apparently. But Coach, just in ring first, the impact of AJ coming back. I mean, how big a deal is this?
Definitely adds a new caveat to the storyline. Becky unleashed on CM Punk the week before and hitting him, slapping him. And what woman isn't going to defend her man, especially when you were one of the most popular WWE wrestlers? This is an opportunity to advance the storyline, to give a new wrinkle to the CM Punk Seth Rollins story, with Becky coming out a couple weeks ago. Now with AJ, we might be in the bottom of the second. So WWE is starting to create another long-term story that can culminate again in Vegas between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And who knows, maybe CM Punk will actually be able to hold that title belt for all of us to see in Vegas.
That is a distinct possibility. Yeah, it's really, when you think about it, it's not that far away. I mean, we're in September right now, so what's 7 months? That's not that far out in pro wrestling time. So we'll see how that turns out. But I think the one interesting part to me, and you start to think about AJ Lee's career, and she's just not doing this as a one shot. Apparently, she's on the roster. She's going to be there for a long time. How does she fit in with this group of women? I mean, one thing that I always really liked about AJ was she came in at a time where wrestling was actually starting to happen with the women. You had Paige showing up, and AJ was in there, and I'll still never forget that promo where she just pretty much ripped the entire women's roster at the time, because and I don't want to put anybody down, but they sure weren't the Four Horsewomen. We'll just say that. It was not that kind of quality pro wrestling. So where's AJ going to fit in with this new group? Because it's very talented. There's a ton of women down in NXT that are kind of waiting for their shot to come up. We just got Julie up here, and Stephanie McCare, and so many others are starting to make their mark. Once we get past this feud with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, how is AJ going to fit into this? Because it's going to be fascinating after a 10-year absence where she's going to find a place among the Rhea Ripleys and the Io Skys and the Charlotte Flairs.
Well, I can tell you this, WWE has done a very good job of bringing back these nostalgia acts and not really giving them a good, strong initial push, but then not having them on every week. You've seen Alexa Bliss. Yes, she's a champion, but she's not out there dominating the television programs, taking time away from the younger people. They're here, they're there. They're a lot on Instagram. They're having videos, but they're playing to their hits. You see that Alexa brought back the doll. So WWE's done a good job of not over pushing the nostalgia acts, but putting them in a situation where they can get the most exposure and the most bang for their buck, while also making sure that the talent of today is getting the recognition and the reps that they deserve. So I'm not worried.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how she falls into place in WWE, because Nikki Bella, I mean, we'll be talking a little bit about her and how things went at the pay-per-view, and just this weird controversy with Wade Barrett, which is just ridiculous. But AJ is going to have to fight for a spot in there, and once this is all done, it'll be entertaining to see how she interacts with a Rhea Ripley when she gets in the ring with her, and so on. I'm fascinated to see where she fits into the big picture after this is all over. So we'll see how it turns out. But That's going to be, but that'll be a fun match, Coach. I got to tell you, they're doing a good job. I love the promo this week that, Seth kind of just stayed up in the stands for a while and just let Becky beat up Punk again. And then AJ came out and did her thing. This is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, you've got 4 very talented performers and 4 people that know ring psychology very well. And I think this is going to be a pretty good feud. And I doubt it's going to be over after WrestlePalooza in a couple of weeks.
No, it definitely won't be over. I think it'll lead up into Survivor Series with maybe AJ getting a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, or maybe something going on in Dubai. I think they have something going on there, but it will lead to something. Who knows if AJ will just be, arm candy for CM Punk. I don't think that'll be the case as a manager, but I think she'll also be used to push some of the younger talent. I think she will start to make some appearances in NXT, because if you strap the rocket to somebody with AJ, they're going to get some instant credibility. And I think that'd be another way to use her in some tag matches with some of the people in NXT that match her personality and her persona.
Yeah, so we'll see how all this turns out with AJ Lee doing her thing. And one thing I'll tell you, I think a lot of people are going to watch this show. I mean, I actually had it on at work and stayed after I was done because I wanted to see that the comeback was going to happen. But I got to tell you this, Coach, and I don't know if you saw this, but wow, was last week a horrible week for pro wrestling TV shows. What a disaster, as SmackDown, Collision, and Dynamite all had record lows for non-preempted viewership. All 3 of them. So this wasn't just an AEW thing or a WWE thing. Collision on the 30th only pulled 195,000 viewers. Dynamite, at least on TV, had 472,000. SmackDown, 1.147 million. Their lowest on the USA Network at a 0.28. What the heck happened last week, Coach? I mean, come on. That's crazy. I mean, I know there's some football games kicking off, but still, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, the shows were lacking. I didn't watch them live, but I mean, I hate to make excuses, but it's also Labor Day weekend. There was the football, but overall the cards just stunk. But people don't really watch for a specific match anymore. They're not addicted, but they love their show, so they're gonna log in or check out a live SmackDown or a live Dynamite, no matter who's fighting. So could be a myriad of reasons, but yeah, it was terrible. The Ring of Honor show was pretty good, but other than that, it's this is kind of the dry season for wrestling, because we have a couple smaller pay-per-views coming up, but Survivor Series doesn't really draw a lot of interest, and this is kind of the time where there's a lull in wrestling, and we're really waiting for that Royal Rumble. We're waiting for WrestleMania. So I'll just chalk it up to that and hope for the best to come.
Yeah, that's just a strange week in the ratings. But we come back, we're going to talk about what is going on with this counter programming as we have another shift on the 20th. This war continues. Is it ever going to end? Will there be peace? Will cats and dogs love each other again? I don't know, but we're going to talk about when we return about Coach Rosey from Ad Free Shows. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show. We will be right back.
Your time is important to you, so it is important to us too. As a business owner, you want to spend your time focused on growing your business, not on dealing with red tape. You can safely leave that to us. At Pro Group Management, we focus on ensuring that you have the best workers' comp plan for your business. Our team of experts keeps up on all the regulatory issues and compliance updates so you can spend your time growing your business. For self-insured groups, Pro Group Management is the leader in providing Nevada's businesses with reliable, quality workers' comp programs. And we have the awards to prove it. Find out how to have Pro Group Management work for you. Visit our website at pgmnv.com to receive a free cost savings analysis now. That's pgmnv.com, or call our Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
You know, Coach Rosey, I could pull the Rob Van Dam thing with my name. I got a short middle name. You know,
What are you going to make it?
I could. Well, what? No, I mean, I could just do it. It's not like it's not. I could do Mark Allen Hoke. You know, it's right there. It's right there.
Yeah, MAH.
Yeah, I could be MAH.
Do it.
It's kind of like Triple H, but better. Thanks for
Are
being
you
with us.
going to the big Lucha show in Vegas on Friday?
I am considering it. I was waiting to hear back from WWE, but apparently their mailboxes aren't working over there very well. But it's all good. We'll see. It's kind of my birthday weekend. My birthday's next Tuesday, so I got to figure something out. If anybody wants to sneak me into a press box or something for the Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford fight, that's the one I think I'd like to hit. That's going to be it's going to be a great weekend here in Vegas. That's for sure. But
Yes,
we're going to talk about Worlds Collide and, you know, an interesting card. That's going to be a lot of fun here at the Cox Pavilion. And by the way, Coach, before we get into all this counter programming stuff, we have some very special guests lined up for the next few weeks. You weren't here, so you may not have heard about this. Next week, we are joined by Fox Across America's own super comedian Jimmy Fallon. That is going to be a blast. Yeah, Jimmy is a huge wrestling guy, and we're going to get to talk to Jimmy. He's going to be at the Durango Casino coming up at the end of November. He sold out the first show, so they added a second one. So if you might want to get your tickets. Just head on over to Ticketmaster and enjoy it. Jimmy's a great guy, and we're looking forward to having Jimmy on the show. The next week on the 21st, we have coming in David Shabazz, who has put out some great books on Black world champions and wrestlers. His third edition is coming out called Black Gold: Discovering Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions, where they're going to be featuring stars of yesterday and today. It's going to be a great book. I got to read some of it that he sent over to me, and you're going to love to hear from David Shabazz. And then on the 28th, Brian Solomon's going to be joining us, another great author, and he's got his book Irresistible Force, about Gorilla Monsoon coming out on September 30th, and we're going to get him on the show right before the book comes out. So looking forward to having Brian Solomon on the show. We're going to take a dip into wrestling history over the next few weeks, Coach.
Hey, I love to learn, and those three people that who we're talking to and getting their perspectives. I loved Gorilla Monsoon. He was the the announcer of my childhood when they had primetime wrestling with him and Bobby. So I can't wait to hear some stories about him. And he loved to gamble, and I love to gamble. So hey, bring it on. And world champions that are African American. Man, I've had an opportunity to sit down with Thunderbolt Patterson this year in Waterloo. What a guy. Ron Simmons was there. What a guy. Now we have some of the newer African American champs like Bobby Lashley, like Powerhouse Hobbs. So, another great topic to talk about. And anytime we can get a comedian in here and get his perspective on wrestling, it's going to crack us up because they have a different viewpoint on storytelling and everything like that. So, as a comedian, they're known storytellers. So when they see a good story, they like to crack jokes about it. So I'm excited for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And so once again, Jimmy Fallon going to be on next week. And those of you in Vegas, get your tickets. There's not many left. And looking forward to opening. That's going to be the first show at the theater there at the Durango Casino. So looking forward to being a part of that. Well, speaking of shows, oh my God, Coach, this whole thing with AEW and WWE, it kind of reminds me of the kid pulling the girl's ponytails. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm just going to be annoying and obnoxious and, just pick, and eventually somebody's going to get punched on this one. But if you did not hear what happened, AEW has moved All Out to a noon Pacific start time. They were scheduled to start at 4:00, but WWE decided that WrestlePalooza will be going on at 4:00, and Tony decided to move All Out to a noon beginning. So they will be on the same day, but it will be different times. So no one's going to have to split their time going live, at least for now. Lord only knows. WrestlePalooza decides to they decide to move that. But there's two perspectives on this, Coach, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, and I'll give mine. The one side of it is this is a good move by Tony Khan. Why? It's good for the fans. Why have these cards at the same time? If we can shuffle it, we'll shuffle it. It's no big deal. Nobody cares. We're just going to get things rolling at noon and go. The other side of it is that WWE is bullying Tony Khan around and he keeps backing off. And, WWE says we're going to run at the same time. Tony's like, okay, I guess I'll shift all my stuff. Fine, whatever. And it was interesting that Brian Alvarez from Wrestling Observer actually made a comment about this, which somehow I lost on my screen, and bear with me, I will find it. There it is. But on his show, he said, I've pretty much been told this from people in WWE. It's like, that's it. They're going to go after them and they're going to keep it up. I don't think it's going to happen for this show. The day is going to come where WWE counter programs, AEW moves the show, and then WWE moves their show. It's going to happen at some point. They're going to screw with him because they know this guy's going to blink. He's going to move his show. Coach, you and I are competitive athletics coaches for a long time, and, it's no fun backing down or even having that feeling if it's legitimate. Do you feel like Tony is backing down or doing the right thing? What do you think?
Well, also part of coaching is putting your team in the best position to win. And if you're telling me, now I'm an AEW homer, so take me out of the equation, but you take the average fan and you tell them, hey, we're going to have Brock Lesnar against John Cena at the same time as we're going to have Darby Allin and John Moxley in a coffin match. You're going to have to spend $50 either way because they're both pay-per-views. Which would you want to watch? I would assume that probably 90% of people would choose the Brock Cena match. So that's number one. It is a financial decision. But I'm enjoying these earlier pay-per-views, whether they're on a Saturday or a Sunday. It gives me the opportunity to consume the wrestling content that I want, but also not give up an entire Saturday night if I don't want to watch WWE, or vice versa. It also gives me the opportunity to make a conscious decision on which pay-per-view I want to invest in, or do I want to invest in both of them? So when it came to the Texas, when we were for the AEW show in Texas, we were back at the hotel and watching Goldberg's last match without any interruption. So we did get to consume both, which makes a wrestling fan that's really serious happy. So is it backing down? No, but what it is putting your team in the best position to win.
And honestly, I think overall it's a good move for the wrestling fan. And if I were Tony Khan and somebody would ask me about it, I'd say, look, it's not that big of a deal. We don't care. The only thing that we care about is that people want to watch pro wrestling. So why split the audience? Why be selfish? We're just going to, we don't mind going a little earlier. No big deal. And if people want to watch us and watch them, they can, instead of depriving themselves of, not catching one of them live. And that's the way that I would spin it if it were me.
Yeah. We talked about this on one of our ad-free shows, one of our pods, and Conrad looked at the college football games on the 20th, and there really are no big matchups that would pull somebody away from watching AEW, because there's a 1-4 or a huge college game. So it's a dull college football weekend, and on top of that, Tony can slide down, and for the people that don't want to watch football, he can provide them with alternative content, which is wrestling on what's going to be a great card.
Now, going at it from the other perspective, though, I will say this. At some point, I do feel like Tony's going to have to put his foot down, because I would say this. I wouldn't want to go through all the announcements and booking everything and setting it all up. And every time WWE decides to, be the bully, to say, oh, okay, we'll just move. At some point, somewhere, sometime, I do think that Tony is going to have to take a stand on this and just say, you know what? If that's what they want to do, if they want to split the audience, that's not my problem. Let them do it. And, I think it makes WWE look like the bad guy. Do they care? The only way they're going to care is if you hit them in the pocketbook, if the numbers go down. Now, but then at the same time, too, you've got a situation where, you can go back and watch. It's just a matter of you just want to, not be on social media and see the spoilers. But I do think at sometime down the road, Tony is just going to say, you know what? They want to do it. Let them do it. And we'll let the chips fall where they may. So, Coach, do you think that at some point he is going to have to take a stand on this?
He can. It's not like he's going to go broke. He's got more money than probably 50% of the GDPs of most countries. So if he does lose the money in an experiment to try to go head to head, he can learn from it. It's a learning experience. I think he does have the ego to want to build up to going head to head for right now. But I think in the back of his mind, he knows that with the matches that WWE is having, he doesn't have the firepower to match up head to head, with the John Cena Brock Lesnar match. So maybe down the line it will happen. I don't know if it'll happen on any of these major pay-per-views, but if they try to slip in a Backlash, why not go head to head with them, or a head to head against an Elimination Chamber, or a Money in the Bank, or whatever else they have going. Why not? He's not gonna go broke, and it might be the turning point. It might be his Monday Night Nitro. Happy 30th anniversary Monday Nitro on September 4th. Maybe him going head to head will be the precursor to AEW's time to shine.
Yeah. So let's compare the cards here real quick, at least where they're at right now. AEW All Out at the moment. Here are the matches. If my mouse will cooperate, there we go. Right now, it's Adam Copeland and Kristen Cage taking on FTR. The Hurt Syndicate with MVP Wrestling is going to take on Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Mercedes Moné will be defending her TBS championship against Rio. You got Moxley against Darby Allin in a coffin match. MJF and Mark Briscoe, stipulation not decided yet. 4-way for the Women's World Championship. And boy, is this is an awesome match. Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Tekla. And then we got Hangman Adam Page taking on the TNT the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher for the AEW World Championship. So that's your card for All Out. And then when you get to WrestlePalooza, here's your WrestlePalooza matchups that have been announced at the moment. And technically, there's only 2 on the card, but we know there's going to be more. Cena and Lesnar, Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's Championship. Would imagine we'll be seeing the mixed tag match with Seth and Becky taking on CM Punk and AJ Lee and a few others. I got to tell you, Coach, that quite frankly, if you were telling me I had to pick one to watch live and I couldn't watch the other for, a few hours or something, I would probably go with All Out. I know what you're saying about Cena and Brock, but I don't know if people are that excited. I mean, I think people are excited to see John. I think people will be excited to see Lesnar come back. But as for another Cena-Lesnar matchup, are people really excited about the match or just the people that are in it?
Well, the people that are in it. I mean, when you went through that, the All In or All Out, whatever they're calling it in Toronto, in every match or in most of the matches, there is one wrestler in that match that has no name recognition with the basic wrestling fan. People in the internet wrestling community, yeah, we're going to know who Riho is. We're going to know who Tekla is. But the people that are going to be buying these pay-per-views, the majority of them, they don't know who Riho is. I mean, they might know who Mark Briscoe is. I mean, they might know who FTR is. But everybody that is in the WWE machine, they have name recognition and history with those people. So I think over time, AEW will continue to grow that name recognition. But at this point, I don't think they can compete. I think it would be a David and Goliath story, and the ending of that story only happens in the Bible. It doesn't happen in real life all the time.
Now that is very true. It'll be fascinating to see what all the numbers are when this is over. Especially Tony going early on Saturday, which, like you said, I kind of like when these shows start early. I think a lot of the wrestling journalists are pretty happy about it too, especially when they have to, especially the AEW, that they got to stick around for the press conference and everything else. It takes up a lot of time, and then WWE's doing the long post show now. So, I don't mind the shows being on earlier in the day, getting freed up at night. I
love it.
Yeah, it's fascinating, but we'll see how the matchup turns out and what Tony's going to do in reaction to all this in the future. It's going to be fun. And boy, I'll tell you, the Wrestling Wars coach in a few years, whoo, baby, this could be some quality entertainment, but we are all going to be the winners, I think.
Yeah,
all right, let's get a break in. And when we come back, we mentioned that Nikki Bella and that Wade Barrett thing. What happened? What's going on?
You'll have to pull me up on that one. I have no idea. I just know he's off the road.
It's pretty crazy. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with the best in pro wrestling on the Mark Hoke Show when we return.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy. What's up, Las Vegas? Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy. And Jacob Taylor here. Right now, interest rates have created hesitation. But here's the reality. We all know they're coming down.
That's right, Dad. And at the real estate guy, we give you every advantage possible.
Sellers will front the cost for repairs and even give you cash advances with no interest, so you walk away with top dollar.
Buyers, we negotiate the best deals, and our specialized team knows the new home market inside and out.
And if you need speed, we'll even buy distressed homes for cash in 24 hours. No gimmicks, just solutions built to help you move decisively.
Don't get caught reacting. Be the smart one. Call the real estate guys today before the market moves without you.
Call 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. eXp Realty, license number 388886. Call for details.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Free trial is 7 days. If customer does not cancel prior to the end of a trial period, fees will apply.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas, which is going to be very busy here this next weekend. Very busy. Worlds Collide is coming in. We got the Canelo Alvarez Bud Crawford fight, which is going to be one of the best fights maybe in the last 10 or 15 years. That is going to be unbelievable. And if you're coming in, yeah, I'm on the Bud Crawford train on that. That's going to be unbelievable. But if you are looking for a hotel room, I got to remind you to check out the travelshark.com/Hoke Show. I just hopped on there right now to look, Coach. The hotels are not going to be cheap that weekend, but I'm going to say this. I'm slinging down through here and seeing, this hotel's got a 43% off deal. Another one's doing 49% off. We got the Golden Nuggets doing 43 off, Plaza's 38% off, but that's only on the travelshark.com. So you better get on there right now. And all you got to do, it's a free sign up. It's powered by Priceline. And if you want to get those employee prices and all those mystery prices without doing all the little dances and everything else, just go to the travelshark.com/Hoke Show. And I promise you're going to get a great deal. So check it out right now, thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show. Well, Coach, we teased it going into the break, and this whole thing that happened with Wade Barrett and Nikki Bella. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, this is one of the dumbest things of all time. I swear to God. So here's what happened if you missed it. So on the pre-show to Clash in Paris, Wade Barrett made comments saying, was talking about the previewing the match and talking about Nikki Bella, and he made a comment that said that Nikki was desperate to prove she still has it against this new generation that have changed the game. And Coach, I think it is a reasonable comment to say that being a wrestler in the Divas era is very different from being a wrestler now if you're a female. It's very, very different. You can't just get in the ring, swinging around a little bit, and get away with it. It's not happening. And the point that Barrett was trying to make was, with Nikki being away for so long, that this is going to be it's a different ball game now. And needs to go out and prove herself that she can hang. Well, apparently Nikki got her knickers in a bunch on this one. And she went on her podcast and just was saying that, that she'd like to have a conversation with Wade. He avoided me on Monday, as he always comes up and says hi. He tried to avoid making eye contact with me in the hallway. And I understand when you want to be a heel commentator and stuff, but then there's one thing of, Michael Cole does this beautifully, blah, blah, blah. And she just kept it rolling. And Barrett then got out, and apparently he reached out to Nikki and straightened it all out. But the question here is, Coach, was Wade right? Was he right?
Of course he was right. I mean, if they want to be considered a sport, you talk to anybody, a guy comes off of injury, he's an older player. They always talk about how you match up with today's generation. They're always comparing one generation to the next. It was a harmless comment. If anything, it showed that she's got the grit and determination to come back and face this group, because the Divas era was more of the TNA era. It was more of show stuff off and not get in there and fight. Well, if anything, Nikki's showing that she's got the bravado and the skill to be able to match up with these youngsters. She gave Becky a good fight. And I don't know, maybe she's trying to keep her name in the news. To me, it's a non-story.
Yeah, it was. Well, and I'll be honest with you. I thought that match was, there were some bad spots in that match. There really were. And it kind of illustrated that point. And I don't know, I can't say whose fault it was, when Nikki had that miss and when they were, but the one that stood out to me in that match was when Nikki was bouncing Becky's head off the announce tables, and Becky wasn't even close. I mean, yeah. It wasn't even close. She had her head at least 1.5 feet away from the table, if not more, when they were doing that. And it just looked terrible. And like I said, I don't know whose fault that was and whose fault it was when Nikki came off the top rope and just missed and Becky wasn't anywhere near her. But it kind of proved the point a little bit, that look, this is much different than what she did when she was in WWE before. It's a much higher talent level at this point. And I'm not saying that Nikki's not talented. I don't want to, say that she's not a good pro wrestler, but at the same time, you got to realize that Rhea Ripley's up here and, taking ring skill. I think it's fair to say that Nikki's not at that level. I mean, that's nothing wrong with saying that either. It's the truth.
No, she's definitely not at that level. I mean, if you're going to be honest, the proof is in the pudding with the fight that she had. I didn't catch most of it, but if that's the case, then there's really not a place for her in wrestling anymore. She can't pull off basic stuff. And, that's when sometimes people have to realize that my time is up. I can't do it anymore. And maybe that's the case for her. And she's lashing out at somebody based on her insecurities.
That is well put, Coach. That is well put, because I think Wade was kind of over the target there when he said what he said, and that's kind of why she didn't like it. So we'll see. Maybe Nikki will keep stepping her game up, and nothing wrong with her. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, in the hierarchy of who's the best female wrestler on the planet, she's not there at the moment. But then because of this, Wade Barrett, who has been doing commentary for WWE, obviously, is all of a sudden he's off the road, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, did Nikki Bella get him fired? Is that Nikki Bella?" No. Everybody chill out on this. Wade Barrett's taken a couple of weeks off. They scheduled it according to him. Here's what he said. I usually ignore BS reports like this, but it's causing needless hate to be spewed towards people I work with. WWE has kindly given me a couple of weeks off for personal time, booked 9 months ago, and then I'm back to business as usual, a complete non-story, the end. So Wade Barrett's just taking a little time away that he planned, so all of you guys can not panic and think that Nikki Bella has that kind of stroke backstage that she could change the announce teams. So we're going to be seeing Graves and Cole for both shows on WWE for a little while. And, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Good to see Corey back up there. Then we also had announcing news that Bryan Danielson is going to be joining the AEW Dynamite commentary team. So Danielson, who did pretty well on his last stint on commentary, Tony decided we're going for it. So Bryan Danielson's going to be a full-time commentator too. So we got little changes behind the microphones here at both places, Coach.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone's been pretty much moved to Collision only. Rick Abani's been doing a lot of his spots. I think Taz is going to, not that he's done anything bad, but maybe have a reduction in work time. So Bryan Danielson will be great. He can also, fight right there from the announcer's table if you really needed to get some action. But if you want to really just compare the Nikki Bella thing, take a look at when Nikki came out compared to how AJ came out, the reception that both of them got. The reception that AJ got brought the roof down. I know it was in Chicago, but it would have happened in New York or Boston. Nikki was fumbling around on the microphone for a couple of weeks. She didn't have the same bravado as AJ had. So, if you just take a look at those two returns, I think you can see that her return was more of just a filler for one night in Paris. And I don't think she's going to have the same type of push that AJ is going to have. So you can feel bad about yourself. You can blame an announcer for speaking his truth. But I think Nikki's job at this point is to be behind the mic, look beautiful, and continue with podcasting.
I find it interesting you made that comparison too, because, both from around the same era. And now AJ Lee's going to be stepping into the spotlight. And, I just think she's going to be able to handle it a lot better. And AJ, like I said, was one of the more talented women on the roster at the time when she was there. And I can't imagine that she hasn't been still training and, being around her husband, Phil. I'm sure she wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. So this is going to be, I think it's going to be an interesting comparison in terms of the returns, Coach. I think you got a great point there.
Yep. I think Nikki's been sipping her sisters and them wine. She's been drinking a lot of wine. I know AJ is not a drinker. I mean, you can tell by the way that she came out, her six-pack, was phenomenal. You can tell that she's in great ring shape. We'll just have to see if she can take bumps. But I'm excited for AJ, and I wasn't excited for Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bang on Nikki or anything, but just like the Bellas just didn't do that much for me anyway when they were wrestling. So with Nikki back now, I mean, I got to tell you that match that Nikki had, it sure probably didn't help Brie out either. If she's trying to get a contract with WWE too, it's like, do we really want to, and then you get drama along with it too. And it's like, I don't think we need that. So yeah, fascinating stuff. All right. So we're wrapping up hour number 1 here of the Mark Hoke Show. And I've got Coach Rosey from Ad Free Shows along for the ride. Always great to have the coach with me. And boy, I'll tell you, we got some other crazy stuff coming up in hour number 2, as we're going to be mentioning our good friend, Matt Riddle. Oh dear God. Riddle lost his mind. We're still dealing with everything with Raja Jackson and that attack at Knox Pro. That is getting set up. We got legal stuff with Liv Morgan, but John Cena, he doesn't get to finish up in Boston. Oh my God, wait till you hear why that's going down. So we have a ton of stuff to hit on hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show. So stick around, everybody. Don't forget to follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Subscribe to us at The Mark Hoke Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we are live streaming right now, and we'd love to hear from you. So hop into one of those social medias. We're up there right now, and you can pop in and say hi to us. Am I off on the Bellas? Am I wrong? Am I just a hater? Tell me. I want to hear it. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back with hour number 2 after the news. Stick around. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-230-8357. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-230-8357.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-230-8357. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-230-8357 or oxcarcare.com.
Ready to improve the quality of your life? Start with your base and work up. The Labor Day sale's been extended at Best Mattress. Last chance to save up to $900 off adjustable mattress sets. Plus, relieve your aches and pains with Tempur-Pedic and Purple, the industry leaders in pressure relief and body support. Plus, get a free adjustable base on select models, 60 months interest-free and same-day delivery. The Labor Day sale's extended at Best Mattress.
You deserve the best.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center. So what's the catch on this free week of interest?
If you're a new customer, the first week's interest is on us. It's free to apply and there's no other fees. So I guess the catch is you got to be a first-time customer. Think of it as a free trial. No matter how much you borrow, if you don't dig it, all you need to do is pay back the principal within a week, and that's it. No interest, no fees. It allows folks to see how much they can save, how much more we lend, and our flexibility for them to pay it back, even if you need up to a year.
Thanks, Chuck. DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes, and you can get your cash in person at one of our 70 locations, on our website, don'tbebroke.com, or even over the phone with one of our helpful, real staff members. You're gonna love Dollar Loan Center.
With the two jewels of Henderson, the Emerald Island Casino and the Rainbow Club, you've got the best paying slots valley-wide, best video poker valley-wide, and the best food and service you'll find in all of Southern Nevada. The Emerald Island and Rainbow Club casinos, where slot players are treated like royalty and everyone is greeted and treated like family. Great daily specials and parking is always free. Join your friends, family, and neighbors for round-the-clock fun. Think different, think better. Think Emerald Island and Rainbow Club casinos, the jewels in downtown Henderson's historic Water Street district, where everyone's a winner.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas, 1015 FM KDAWN. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Some
early pushback. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. In Chicago, Saturday protests amid rumors growing of a coming ICE crackdown and the possible use of National Guard troops as ordered by the Trump White House.
Thousands of people gathered in downtown Chicago Saturday protesting against federal intervention. Many of these people carrying signs and banners rejecting the deployment of troops and calling for ICE to be abolished. You see those signs and banners. The protests extend outside of the city. More than 100 protesters assembled outside of Naval Station Great Lakes in northern Chicago. It is set to be used as a hub for the administration's immigration crackdown. Chicago is bracing for more immigration enforcement. President Trump issuing a warning on Truth Social, saying he loves the smell of deportations in the morning. It appears to be a reference to a line from the movie Apocalypse Now. The president also saying Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War, referring to the name change for the Defense Department.
And that's Fox's Madeline Rivera, a teenage computer whiz now posthumously named the first ever millennial saint.
Carlo Acutis really signals a new era for the Catholic Church, I have to say, because Carlo Acutis actually gives the Catholic Church two things it really sorely needs. It needs more young people, more young voices, but it also needs more voices of faith. And he has done both because of creating that website, documenting Eucharistic miracles. And what people may not understand is the Eucharist, the believing of the real presence of Jesus Christ in the unleavened bread, is the core of Catholicism and Orthodox Christianity. It's what separates them from Protestantism, really. So Carlo Acutis actually gives the church both of those.
Fox's Lauren Green. Two winners in the historic $1.8 billion Powerball jackpot Saturday night. Officials say those winners won each in Missouri and Texas. America's listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Janice Dean, Fox News senior meteorologist and host of the Janice Dean podcast. Join me every Sunday as I focus on stories of hope and people who are truly rays of sunshine in their community and across the world. Be sure to subscribe to the Janice Dean podcast at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to spread the sunshine.
America's listening to Fox News. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
This is Jason Chaffetz from the Jason in the House podcast. Join me every Monday to dive deeper into the latest political headlines and chat with remarkable guests to hear their take on American life, politics, and entertainment. And don't forget, there's always somebody doing something stupid somewhere.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com
or wherever you download podcasts.
Must listen to podcasts from Fox News Audio.
Afternoons in Vegas are ruled by one radio show. It's the real, raw, and relevant talk found only on The Steve Sanchez Show. 3 to 6 p.m. on KDAWN, 101.5 FM, and on the Odyssey app.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
I'm just mashing buttons around here. It's a blast. I love producing a show and a live stream while I'm actually doing it. It's a hoot. Y'all should try it sometime. It's great. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We're also out there on that Odyssey app. And by the way, the Odyssey app has a rewind feature. So if you happen to find a show that you like, like ours, you can just rewind it for a few days. It's pretty cool. So check it out, AUDACY, and I promise you that, it may even help you grow your hair back.
What?
Maybe not. Well, see, Coach Rosey just went right for the top of his head. I didn't do that. Oh, Coach, you fell into that trap, and I'm very sorry.
I'm going to download it now.
Now, it's a great app. Check it out. And we are also live streaming on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So if you can give us a subscribe on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook is The Mark Hoke Show, and be part of the fam, man. we're having some fun in here. Got some new lighting in the studio, changed some stuff around. Still got a little work to do, I think, but we're looking a little shinier and happier in here as opposed to going with the giant fluorescent lights. My coach, I had the PD up on the step ladder, changing some of the spotlights in here. He cares, man. It's good.
That's good. Yep. Watch out for liability. Don't be getting on any ladders.
Yeah, well, that's his job. He can do that.
Okay.
But yeah, we're having a great time here at KDAWN, and of course, some great things coming up in Las Vegas. Worlds Collide is going to be happening on Friday night at the Cox Pavilion. So I know there's still tickets out there for it. I'm kind of surprised actually that there's tickets left, but it's going to be a great show. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more this hour. But the first thing that I wanted to hit, Coach, and I got to tell you, Coach, I think there's a little more to read into on this than just, this is going to take place in this place. John Cena, who really, really, really wanted to have his final match in Boston. No, sirree, Bob, because Boston gangs wouldn't shell out enough money. The WWE extortion team went around. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. The marketing team went around. That's a joke, by the way. Don't anybody get mad at me. There's no extortion going on at WWE. Right, Coach?
No.
He's not going to answer. That's great. That's all right. But apparently there was a bidding war for this, and Washington, D.C. has won the bidding war. So they are going to get John Cena's last match in D.C. And there was a lot of talk that they wanted to have it in a place that was a little more touristy and so on. But, Coach, there's just something that doesn't feel right about this. And I think at times, everybody wants to make a buck, and I get that. But for John, shouldn't they have been willing to sacrifice a little bit of money to send their guy out in the place that he lives and he's from and give him that last big standing ovation on Saturday night's main event coming up in December instead of sticking it in Washington, D.C. of all places? I mean, I wouldn't exactly consider that a big wrestling town, but it is what it is. Coach, am I just being too sentimental, or am I on the right track?
No. But maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe President Trump is going to show up, and maybe that's something that intrigues John Cena. Who knows? I don't know his political affiliation, but I'm just trying to reach for straws. I mean, why would they take him out of his home cooking with the merch sales, with the amount of people in the city, with the amount of content that they can have leading up to it? Maybe Trump will be there. I know that he is going to be having an event on the lawn, the whatever the lawn is at the White House. He's going to be putting on a WWE salute to the troops. So I'm just trying to read the tea leaves, but it doesn't make sense to me unless it was purely financial. And if that's the case, that kind of just goes with what we've seen out of WWE. When you make a commitment to a town that you're going to have a WrestleMania, and you're going to have The Rock come and announce it and have a bunch of pomp and circumstance that you're coming to New Orleans for WrestleMania, and then a couple months later pull it and decide to go back to Vegas, that shows where their priorities are. Sometimes you just got to call a spade, and WWE right now is all about the money.
Yeah, and I will never fault a company for trying to make money. Never. Do I hate all the extra product placements and advertisements on WWE? Yes. I can't stand it. It's out of hand. But at the same time, if they can get money from it and help support their company, I mean, Coach, you and I both know that if someone came to me with my show and 6 companies said, "You know what, Mark, we're gonna make you look like a NASCAR car," I'd be like, yeah, okay, guys. Guess what we're wearing this week? I mean, we're not going to turn it down. No. So I understand it, but you just kind of feel like what you said. How great would it be to be going around and shooting some footage, around John's home and walking down the streets of Boston and doing something really cool as he comes into the building. And it's not that you can't do some of that anyway, but I think it just would have been pretty special. And John's one of those guys that deserves that kind of stuff. Now, the other piece of speculation that some people were saying is that some people think that not only you were talking about President Trump showing up, but there are some people that think Vince McMahon is going to show up here on this night too. And I got to tell you, I'll be very frank. I would bet that I'd take betting odds for yes as being like plus 50,000 that Vince McMahon is going to be there that night. Now I could be wrong, but I cannot imagine that WWE would be crazy enough to overshadow John Cena's final match with Vince McMahon popping in the door. I just think that would be a terrible idea.
But what if he walks in with President Trump?
Still,
the two of them together.
Terrible idea. Terrible.
I
idea.
agree. Terrible idea. Beyond terrible idea. But John was at the birthday party. He's close to Vince. Maybe he wants him there.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Vince would come, that would be. I just would not put him on camera.
No, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't. Just there's too much going on, too much bad happening, and of course, maybe you're trying to twist it and say let's say Vince does show up and comes down to the ring, and John Cena, who has been he's been very vocal that he is stuck by Vince no matter what. He has been his friend, and maybe try to get the rub off John Cena to say, you know what, I forgave Vince. You all can do it too. But that would be a ballsy move, Coach. Ballsy.
Yeah, I don't think the TKO would do that. They don't have any allegiance to Vince. So why would they stick their neck out on the line for someone that is not bringing in money since they've proven what their bottom line is?
Yeah. And Vince still has a lot of stock though. Don't forget that. He's still got skin in the game. So it would be fascinating. But yeah, so John Cena's last Saturday night's main event, that is going to be December 13th in Washington, D.C., and that's going to be airing on Peacock. So make sure you guys still keep your Peacock memberships because that's where Saturday night's main event is going to be showing. So be ready for that. We also had a little bit of controversy with a former WWE guy, Matt Riddle. Oh boy, Coach. This was I don't even know how to say it. It just not good. Riddle apparently was supposed to be at a card in London for a promotion called Global Wrestling Kingdom. It was a charity event, and Matt no-showed it and saying that the flight was terrible. I told you guys I was not going to go over on a Thursday and sit in a hotel room in London for 2 days. And, so he didn't go, and he was supposed to wrestle Simon Miller. Of course, we all know him from What Culture. And Grado ended up taking his place. The charity, the money was supposed to go to help for homeless veterans and survivors of bereavement by suicide. Yikes. What a charity to kind of if there. But Riddle apparently did pay back his deposit, but he went off on a tangent, Coach, and a lot of this I can't even read. He tried to explain why he didn't go. There was apparently some disputes about how much he's getting paid and the flights and everything else. But then he put up just a profanity-laced tirade about 30 minutes later, and brought in the Me Too movement stuff and the whole ball of wax. And it ended up getting an appearance canceled in Sioux Falls, South Dakota at a convention there. Coach, what was Riddle thinking? This was just not a smart idea. You don't show up for a charity event. You have controversy there, and then you decide to just kablooey all over the place. Gotta be nuts.
Yeah, he could have felt all those things in his mind and didn't have to express it and just paid it back. I mean, he was talking about having a middle seat. He was talking about wanting to work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He said in the little video that he was willing to take an overnight flight to get there. There's always three sides to the story, his, theirs, and the truth. So there's probably a blend of both, but he didn't have to put all this business out there in public. He could have even turned himself into a good guy by not only paying back the deposit, but kicking in an extra, I don't know, $5,000, $10,000 to show goodwill. And he could have really turned it around and made himself look good. But now he looks foolish, especially with the name of that charity. Golly, that'll pull at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
But there's no excuse for forever missing a booking. I mean, that's wrestling 101. You're taught that. I mean, that's one of the only true traditions of wrestling that has persisted throughout the years. The handshake is almost gone, but not missing a booking, that's important. And that's always been, you talk to anybody in the industry, no matter what generation, when you make a booking, you fulfill it, whether you're hungover, whether you're overdosing, whether you can barely walk to the ring, you fulfill your booking.
Well, and then the video afterward, because Matt may have had some reasons of what happened, but then, and I got to be really careful when I read what he said, because there's profanities all through this. So I'll do my best. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep getting booked. I'm probably going to start fighting again. I'm probably going to do a lot of other blanking, crushing it on OnlyFans because I've got a big blanking, you know what, and I'm nice as blank, dude. Everybody, if you don't like me, unfollow, go blank yourselves. I don't give a blank because at the end of the day, the cream blanking rises to the top. And I'm really, really blanking tired of trying to be nice to everybody, because I hate to break it to you. Most of you guys are blanking morons. Peace.
Okay.
What? Why would you do that? Just, oh man. I just don't get it, dude. This is a guy who really had the world at his feet too. And, had all the drug problems and everything else. And he's trying to rehabilitate his image. Man, you took 2 steps forward and 19 steps back doing that. Just dumb.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Damn, I didn't even know he had an OnlyFans. God, shit must be tough for him if he's got to show off his manhood to make a buck. Matt Riddle, I'm thinking about you. Hopefully you can get your mind right, because what you've been doing is counter to what our great sport has to offer.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of black eyes recently in our great sport, and it's unfortunate because when done properly, professional wrestling is pure Shakespeare.
Yeah, well, I guess hey, if everybody wants to go check out Riddle's OnlyFans, have fun with that. Knock yourselves out. But oh my God, yeah, just a crazy one there for Matt Riddle. But I don't even know how to transition into this, Coach. But maybe Matt needs some health insurance. He might need some health insurance. Give him a little extra help if he needs it. And I've got a great friend that can do that. It's my friend Pat Casal at the Multicare Group. Pat is helping me out with some insurance stuff. He's a great guy, one of Vegas's best, and he can help you get health insurance, life insurance, anything that you need in that genre. Plus, he also works with companies to put together benefits too. So, especially you guys that are pro wrestlers out there, and referees or whatever, and you're an independent contractor, you need health insurance. Pat Casal from the Multicare Group is your guy. Now, you can go to themulticaregroup.com and check out what they do, or you could just call Pat right now. I bet he's awake. He'd probably be thrilled to get a phone call to do some business on Sunday morning. 702-286-1014. It's 702-286-1014. Once again, it's Pat Casal from the Multicare Group, 702-286-1014. let Pat take care of you. He's helping me out, and he'll help you out too. So check
Good
it out.
old Pat.
Yep, Pat Casal at the Multi-Care Group. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, there's all sorts of other legal crazy stuff going on. This whole thing with Roger Jackson is still not settled yet. Liv Morgan is dealing with some nonsense. I mean, this is just unbelievable what's going on in the world of pro wrestling. Plus, we're going to, of course, take a look ahead to that great Worlds Collide card coming up on Friday. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
Right.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time. Big egos, greed, and sleazy schemes. Big and loud doesn't always mean right. And the conventional mold doesn't define success. Goodbye, false quick buck promises. We've had enough. Welcome to Sam and Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way, with integrity, experience, and authenticity. We're champions for the underdog. Life happens, and when you need help, you deserve a team without hidden agendas. A team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. So if you've been hurt in a crash, call Sam and Ash, 702-303-0333. Sam and Ash, because you deserve what's right.
Hi, I'm Sherry, owner of Life Source Water. Here in Vegas, undrinkable, harsh tap water is a way of life, but it doesn't have to be. Our whole house water system is the home appliance you'll love using every day. Life Source builds every system, installs it, and offers factory direct pricing. Now we are offering a double dip in savings. Free basic installation plus an extra $250 off. That's up to $1,200 in savings. Call our factory at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com. Hurry, offer ends September 30.
Warranty limitations apply. The real estate market feels more uncertain than ever these days. From Pahrump to Boulder City, homes are sitting longer for sale, prices are falling, and sellers are outnumbering buyers like never before. Do you want to sell your house now but worried about it sitting on the market for too long? Call Wedgwood Homes first to discuss your options. Do you have a house that needs repairs, ready to downsize, relocate, or sell an inherited property? Dealing with rental headaches, financial stress, or foreclosures? Wedgwood Homes can help. We offer a fast, reliable, all-cash offer. Wedgwood Homes buys homes as is, no repairs, no commissions, no hassle. Close in as little as 3 days or on your timeline. Don't wait for the market to get worse as home prices continue to fall. Skip the stress of a traditional listing. Call Wedgwood Homes. Our offers are firm, no last-minute price drops. Call 702-996-3583 for your no-obligation, all-cash offer. 702-996-3583. That's 702-996-3583. Las Vegas's trusted home buyer for 20 years. See our reviews at wedgwoodhomes.com.
Do you or someone you know struggle with everyday tasks such as reading your bills or difficulties with hearing? Do you have bathing, dressing, and grooming challenges? The Nevada Assistive Technology Resource Center, NATRC, is a grant-funded organization who can help by offering assistance in exploring the assistive technology you need to perform tasks more effectively. Call NATRC today at 775-455-4454. That's 775-455-4454. Sponsored by a grant through the University Nevada, Reno, in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
101.5 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Getting a little zen on the live stream before we come back. Feeling a little Karate Kiddish right now, you know.
Hit your move.
I got no karate moves. I can throw a mean hip toss though. Good headlock. I've still got those touches. And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM Talk of Las Vegas. I've got Coach Rosey from Ad Free Shows hanging around. Make sure, by the way, you check out adfreeshows.com. Some of the best podcasts you're going to find out there. Tony Schiavone is going to be on tonight, our good friend. So make sure you tune in for that one. Should be a lot of fun. And for those of you that are going to be tuning in to football and baseball and all sorts of stuff, I need to make sure that you go to betonline.ag. All you have to do is go to markhokeshow.com, click on the banners, and trust me, either on the front page or the sponsor page, you'll see them, because you can bet on wrestling too. And right now, odds are up for John Cena versus Brock Lesnar and Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the WrestlePalooza card. Cena is the betting favorite, Coach, but it's close. Minus 200 to plus 150. But you can bet on wrestling, and the best part is if you click on that banner and put in the code BOL1000, you're going to get a 50% matching bonus up to a $1,000 deposit. And right now, of course, your NFL games are coming up here pretty soon, so you probably want to get some money out there right now. So check it out. Go to betonline.ag via markhokeshow.com and put in that code, and you're going to be a very happy camper. Plus, you'll be able to bet on pro wrestling. By the way, Coach, you've been on this site, you know it, but they've got volleyball, handball, darts, politics, Australian rules football. I mean, if you can bet on it, you can do it right there on betonline.ag.
Do it.
So
I'm all about a good bet.
There you go. So make sure you check it out. All right, Coach. We also have not settled this whole thing with Raja Jackson. This is unbelievable to me that nothing has happened to him yet. We want to first say that Psycho Stu, he is out of the hospital, so he's still got a long road to recovery from Raja Jackson beating the living hell out of him at that Knox Pro card. But unbelievably, Coach, the LAPD is still compiling their case on this after all this time. It's been a couple of weeks with all the video and everything that they've got, including Jackson before he did that run in, saying, I'm going to bash this guy's head in. They still have not filed any charges, Coach.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. And if you didn't see and just in case you don't know what happened there, a wrestler named Psycho Stu at a Knox Pro event, which is partially owned by Rikishi. They had a little kerfuffle backstage. Stu kind of hit him with a beer can or something in the back, and they were, and it was kind of a rib more than anything else, just goofing around. But Raja Jackson, the son of Rampage Jackson, was supposed to do a run-in in Psycho Stu's match, and boy, did he ever. Not only did he run in, but he picked him up, bounced his back of his head off the mat, and then hit him about 22 times. And Stu was out and suffered tons of injuries, concussion, the whole thing. But no charges filed, Coach. I mean, what? Look, I know people that are involved with the LA Police Department, and I know that they have trouble with the DAs not wanting to file charges against anybody in that city. But come on, man. You've got to be kidding me. Nothing yet?
Sad. At least bring them in and question them. I mean, that would at least be a good cosmetic look. But everybody in the situation was wrong. From the drinking backstage to the, hitting them with the can, having a non-worker in the back. It just wasn't good in any situation possible. The Jackson kid did go overboard. He does need to be investigated. He knocked out most of his teeth, broke his jaw, concussed him. He went way, way above giving a receipt. But there's a lot of people within this whole sphere of influence that has some culpability in this case. And it's another black eye for our industry. And I think I saw that the kid was booked on another indie show in Southern California coming up in the near future, which just disgusts me.
Well, that turned out to be a hoax.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a terrible hoax, but geez. But yeah, so we still have not heard anything about this situation with Raja Jackson. That's unbelievable. Liv Morgan is also dealing with some issues as for some reason, the guy that stalked her, if you remember that whole thing, the guy, and I'm pulling the information up right now. Bear with me. I apologize. Let's see, last name Chan. Sorry, I'm trying to find his full name. Sean Chan. I'm sorry.
M-A-H?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't need to stalk Liv Morgan. I gotta, she calls me. No, I'm kidding. But Sean Chan was trying to get out of jail. That, of course, the judge said, no, you're not going anywhere. And his attorney tried to say, I've got him a place in the Salvation Army. He'll be fine. but the U.S. Department of Justice is doing everything they can to keep this guy off the streets. But God, I couldn't imagine how Liv's feeling right now that this is even being considered to let this goofball out. He came all the way down from Canada, left notes all around her house. I mean, that's insane, dude. And to think that someone would possibly let him out of jail right now until this is done. Coach, this world's going crazy this week.
It is going crazy. We have to protect our women, no matter if they're a celebrity or not. If a man is harassing or, being rude, disrespectful, abusive to a woman, he needs to be handled. And there's a special place in hell for people that abuse women. And if that's the case, if the truth is the truth, then he needs to be locked up, maybe in some type of psychiatric setting, because to think that you're going to fall in love and have a relationship with somebody you just see off of TV, off of hearing interviews, you're insane. And there's a nice padded room somewhere for that man.
You want to know what one of these notes said, by the way? This is what he said. It's me, Sean, the guy you all hang out with on some gaming platform online. Mm-hmm. You've been trying to contact me, or should I say reach out to me when I'm absent from the game. So who's the stalker? I never said and did anything bad over 10 years, yet you all dared hating me for no reason. I came here to pay a friendly visit, nothing more. Yet I'm the one who looks like a stalker thanks to all of you. Oh, dear God. Oh,
what
man.
What a guy.
Yeah, let's let him on the street. That's a good idea. Great call. Great call. Well, we're going to be letting a lot of wrestling fans out on the street here on Friday as Worlds Collide is going to be invading Las Vegas over at the Cox Pavilion. Tickets are still available. I don't know how, though. I mean, this is going to be a fun night, Coach. We're looking at a card that I need to probably get my ticket and go. We got a Lucha 8-man tag team showcase match. I love how Tony started that all-star showcase thing, and now we're having showcases all over the place. But La Parca's in there, and Hamburguesa and Octagon Jr. and taking on the Latino World Order. I mean, that's going to be a fun one. A 4-way match with El Hijo, Dr. Wagner Jr., taking on Dragon Lee, Ethan Page, and J.D. McDonough for the AAA Latin America Championship he just won. The Judgment Day, it's Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez against Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. So we may have another puppet demon fight as WWE tries to sell more $100 demons. Fabi Apache takes on Natalia for the number one contendership for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. Pagano and Psycho Clown, and I'm intrigued by this one, Coach. Pagano and Psycho Clown are defending the AAA World Tag titles against your boys, the New Day. That is interesting. And El Hijo del Vikingo, the guy that everybody in AAA hates now for some reason. Well, I know why, but he's going to be defending the AAA Mega Championship against Dominic Mysterio. Coach, this is a good card, man. I can't believe there's still a seat left in the house.
Yeah, it is going to be a great night of lucha wrestling blended with the WWE style. They're starting to create some storylines that can extend into the future. But I think AAA is going to get what they want. And I think Dom is going to be winning the AAA World Championship. They like a heel. They like someone that can really rile up the crowd in Mexico. And Dom's the kind of guy that can go in there and really get their hearts pumping. But either way, I think this pay-per-view is missing one important component that WWE really hasn't tapped into yet, and that's Sam Adonis. You've seen Sam in Vegas multiple times.
Absolutely.
But Sam is a great heel. He can speak English. He can speak Spanish. He can do it all. So I would love to see Sam Adonis at some point not only be part of this WWE AAA partnership, but I'd like to see him have a run-in this weekend in Vegas at some point. I'm planning to be in the house, and I'd love to see Sam Adonis.
Oh, you're coming up?
I am.
Oh, well, why didn't you tell me, you goober?
Well, it's hit or miss, but right now it's hit. So it could change. Card is always subject to change, but I'd like to be in Vegas this weekend.
Well, let me know. We'll have to figure that out. But like I said, I think this is going to be a really intriguing card. You brought up Dominic Mysterio, challenging for the Mega Championship. But do you think, Coach, that Dominic is really a heel in AAA? Because it sure doesn't look like it. Because
no, they like that style. It's like an NWO style.
Yeah, they don't like Vikingo because of the fact that he's kind of been pushed. It's like a Roman Reigns 2015 situation there, where he's just been getting pushed like crazy and people are tired of it. So right. Dominic is not. I don't think he's really. I mean, he is the heel in the match, but I don't know how those two are going to handle it, because this will be American crowd, it'll be a little different, but I am curious to see if the New Day walks out with those championships. I mean, look, the most decorated tag team of all time going into AAA, and I know Pagano and Psycho Clown just won those belts at Triple Mania, but that's going to be interesting to see if the New Day gets out of there with those tag titles. I am very intrigued by that match.
Yeah, that'll be a great one. And again, the New Day kind of fits the heel persona of what they want in Lucha Libre, and I think also WWE would like to take over all the championships to even get more heat, to show almost like an invasion angle. There's a lot to be done with this AAA and WWE partnership. I mean, their viewership is just growing and growing because they're giving it away free on YouTube. But within a year or two, we're going to be having to pay for these pay-per-views, because they will have established such a viewership and calling that WWE will start charging.
Yeah. So this is going to be a fun one. So once again, tickets are still available for that at the Cox Pavilion right here in town. So if you want to catch some great pro wrestling and not only see the stars of AAA, but some of the WWE stars as well, go get your tickets, man. It's going to be a fun time over on the campus of UNLV. Speaking of Dominic Mysterio, by the way, this leads into something that happened on Raw. And Coach, I am not a person that when I see a booking philosophy of, oh, you know what, we should just change this title and change that title, or, overreact to things. But the 5-minute ovation that AJ Styles got in Paris before he was to face Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship was one of the most incredible things I've seen in pro wrestling. That was unbelievable to see how crazy the people in Paris went for AJ Styles. El Grande Americano interferes in the match at the end, and Dominic gets out with the Intercontinental Championship. But Coach, after seeing what was going on there, knowing that the French people for some reason think AJ Styles is the greatest thing to ever happen in pro wrestling, do you call the audible there? Do you say, you know what, we can maybe do this for a week, let AJ win it, Dominic takes it back in a few days, and we'll do something later on down the road? Because I just it's a missed moment, and I think a lot of people said that online. And it kind of reminded me of when Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber a while back, when he was super hot up in Montreal and didn't pull the trigger against Roman Reigns, understandably so, but they could have figured something out with that. But this one was one that I feel like they should have put the belt on AJ and dealt with the ramifications later.
Well, you would think so, but again, they're not really into the moments as they used to be. Vince was a guy that would create those moments. These guys are trying to create longer term, viable, profitable storylines, and Dom is the future. Dom is the one that is going to be pulling the weekly ratings, whether he's on SmackDown or Raw. AJ was niche for that crowd. Yeah, they could have gotten a pop that could have gotten into a documentary, but it would have weakened Dom's character, in my opinion, to lose to someone that he's beat in so many ways. Did they have to have the schmozz finish with El Grande Americano come out? No, I would have preferred Dom beating him clean in the ring. But that, again, fits with what Dom does. And that's why people love to hate him.
See, I think you could have actually generated even more heat on Dominic and set some stuff up for the future between him and AJ Styles. If he wins that match, and then you turn around and Dominic takes the belt right back. Like I said, I'm normally not into those kind of reigns, but in this case, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I really wouldn't have. I think that would have been a moment that a lot of people would have remembered for a long time. I mean, you don't remember too much lately about what happens in Intercontinental Championship matches, but I think that was one that I might have been tempted to swing it. And I know what you're saying, but man, it would have been pretty cool. It would have been cool.
I would have gotten up and cheered. I love AJ.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all goes. I mean, we got long-term storytelling going on, so I'll be patient. But like I said, God, I would have done it, Coach. I would have done it. I would have.
And that's why we're sitting here.
Yeah, that is possibly true. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap this baby up. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show. We got Coach Rosey, Josh Rosenbaum from adfreeshows.com joining me on the show today. And we'll finish this out in just a little bit. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You wanna sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
What's up, Las Vegas? Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy. And Jacob Taylor here. Right now, interest rates have created hesitation. But here's the reality. We all know they're coming down.
That's right, Dad. And at the real estate guy, we give you every advantage possible.
Sellers will front the cost for repairs and even give you cash advances with no interest. So you walk away with top dollar.
Buyers, we negotiate the best deals, and our specialized team knows the new home market inside and out.
And if you need speed, we'll even buy distressed homes for cash in 24 hours. No gimmicks, just solutions built to help you move decisively.
Don't get caught reacting. Be the smart one. Call the real estate guys today before the market moves without you.
Call 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. eXp Realty, license number 388886. Call for details.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Sam
loading a new ride? What Nevada Credit Union believes his life should be the new or refinanced auto loan. One Nevada will let you skip payments for 90 days. You really can drive now and pay later. At One Nevada, we offer freedom from payment stress and more money in your pocket. So you spend less time worrying about financing and more time enjoying the drive.
Their hearts pumping.
Check out the auto loan today at onenevada.org. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
To yoga for beginners, where we say yes to stress, no to auto payments.
Say yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay. Finance your new or used car with us, or with your current auto loan, and don't make any payments for 90 days. That can be close to $4,000 in your pocket. Say no to payments and yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay auto loans. Visit onenevada.org today. Federally insured by NCUA.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, we're back one more time for the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on The Mark Hoke Show. Phil Stamper and Stu Myrick bailed out on us, Coach Rosey, but we are having a fantastic show today.
Having a great morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Some AEW stuff real quick. I wanted to make sure we got in. Kenny Omega got beat up real bad by Kyle Fletcher, and Kenny's going to be out for a little while. But don't panic, everybody. I know this kind of sucks because we've got Ospreay on the shelf and Swerve on the shelf, but Kenny is apparently taking a little bit of time off because he had some stuff scheduled, still dealing with the fallout from that diverticulitis, which, man, that just messes with your body so bad. And it's amazing Kenny's even in the ring, but the rumors were, Kenny's out and he's going to be gone. It's like, he's going to miss All Out, but Kenny's all good. So decent news there for Kenny. But another guy in AEW made some news this week with Chris Jericho. That was an interesting conversation that he had where he did an interview with the Daily Mail, and they were asking him about a possibility of returning to WWE when his contract's up. And he said, I'm still with AEW for right now. Would I go back to WWE? I wouldn't be opposed to it. We'll just have to see what happens. But the best thing that could happen is to have two great teams that you can play for. And that just makes everything bigger and more exciting. Coach, should Chris Jericho go back for a little retirement run in WWE, or should he just stay where he is? What do you think?
I don't know. I enjoy him in AEW because he's so creative with his different personas. But then again, to get one last run in WWE, a huge pop, a WrestleMania run, I can see how appealing that would be to a man who has a big ego. I mean, a lot of men have ego, but, Jericho considers himself one of the greatest of all time. And when you're one of the greatest, when you believe you're one of the greatest of all time, you definitely want to end on top. And on top is WWE. So I think you will see Chris be moving over at some point. And everyone's pointing toward the Royal Rumble, and that could be the case. It's starting to get more and more predictable, and that could be good and bad. But in this case, it seems like the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision for him because he's the first AEW world champion. He helped get things going over there. And I think Chris would probably do a run there and then maybe go back and work with AEW some more because they, from what I've heard, everybody really, seems to like him being around over there. And the guy's got a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he's one of the few links left that are still active from the territory days, so having a guy like that around is fantastic. But I would also understand why Chris would want to get that one big pop at the Royal Rumble and get that one more match in at WrestleMania. I wouldn't fault him for leaving AEW to do that, but I don't know. It's the days of loyalty. I guess you got to be loyal to yourself more nowadays than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that is true.
Yeah. So we'll see if Chris Jericho makes that decision and joins, Cody and Jade and Punk and Saints and Paige over there in WWE land. So that'll be fun to see. Cross, by the way, our good friend Killer Cross did a couple more interviews and once again said to everybody, look, this is not a work. I am not under contract at WWE. Scarlett's not under contract at WWE. We're doing our thing. And things are heating up on that feud that they're having on the indies with him and Matt Cardona. Coach, this is so intriguing to me because I know how much Cross wants to be in WWE, but he's having a good time, man. And people, I'm sure, are paying big bucks to see him come out to do these indie cards. I can't imagine that booking fee is, is $50 in an envelope. Is Cross doing the right thing right now? And should he go back to WWE or maybe explore AEW? How are you feeling about this right now? Well, maybe they're happy where they're at. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they could be coaxed into staying on the indies. I mean, to be able to get your first indie run with Cardona, who has kind of revolutionized working on the indies and turned it into a multi-million-dollar opportunity, is great for him. To be able to have the creative, to be able to do what you want to do, that can also be appealing. His wife getting ring work, that could also be appealing. The opportunity to keep all of his meet and greet money, to keep all of his merch money. There's a lot of money to be made in the indies. I know that the lore is to be in WWE, but to be able to pick and choose where you're traveling each week, where you're going to be laying your head each week, knowing where your storylines are going to be going each week, there's a lot of appeal there. Now, if you were just working for that $50 envelope and a couple hot dogs at the end of the match, then I would say shoot to try to get back into WWE. But I think with his recent fire, the amount of smoke that's around him right now, he can pretty much call the shots. And that's something he hasn't been able to do in a long time.
Yeah, see, I just think that those two would be a better fit in AEW. And I know there's controversy between Scarlett and Don Callis, and that would have to be smoothed out somehow. But at the same time, I feel like Cross's character would maybe be better off in AEW, that he's going to be able to open the playbook up a little bit more, as opposed to, that WWE, get out the cookie cutter, this is how we're going to do it kind of thing. It's a great place for someone who is very artistic and creative like Cross in AEW as opposed to WWE. So I don't know if Tony's reached out to him yet, but if you haven't, Tony, I think you ought to give him a call. I mean, do you think that makes sense, Coach?
It does, because AEW has somewhat of an indie mindset where they let a lot of the wrestlers have a lot of freedom in their creative, and they have the ear of their boss. And, it isn't much travel. It's maybe one night or 2 nights a week. So they can, and they can work the indies. So yeah, AEW makes the most sense out of anybody.
Yeah. And it's just his heart's in WWE. He wants to be there so badly, but sometimes when that girlfriend walks away from you and, she teases you every once in a while, you kind of got to just say, it's time to say bye-bye.
Yeah. When you get disrespected for so long, when the crowd is chanting your name and they're saying, they're chanting John Cena's name, you kind of think to yourself, what the hell, man? Screw you guys. I'm going to go show my wares somewhere else and want you guys. And who knows, I might come back, I might not come back, but you're going to want me more than I want you.
Yeah. So we'll see how this saga of Cross continues, but man, he is getting booked all over the place. I follow him pretty tightly, and man, he's booking all over the world right now. It is absolutely something else. And real quick, by the way, the interest in the Righteous, that tag team from WWE or AEW and Ring of Honor. And I love those guys, by the way. I really do. It's a shame that they couldn't put Cross together with those guys. That would be fun, but WWE's got some interest. Apparently, you think that they should go to WWE or just keep doing their thing too?
Yeah, they don't have anything going on. I don't think they can demand the same amount of money on the indies, so they might need that WWE machine. and then they can go out and make that indie money on themselves. But they're okay in AEW, but I think they fit more the Gaga style of WWE, because in AEW, they're known for their matches and not so much their gimmicks. And when they do try to do gimmicky kind of stuff, you get stuff like an exploding ring match that sucks, and then an orange juice falling from the sky match that sucks, and you got a girl that can climb a cage, but a guy that can't climb a cage. It's just it's better if they just stick to good matches and get Meltzer to give them those 5-star matches.
There you go. All right, Coach, we're wrapping it up. Tell her about ad-free shows real quick for you. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say, Scoop. Can't forget Scoop.
What up, Scoop? Yeah, man, we ought to kick it in Vegas if I get up there, Scoop. Let's try to make that happen. I'll let Mark know if I'm coming up. Let's kick it. Yeah. But no, in ad-free shows, we got a lot of live Zooms coming up. We got a Tony one coming up. We've changed our production model. Conrad has a new studio, so come on out to ad-free shows and podcast heat, because that's where you'll find all the nostalgia.
There you go. Sounds great. Coach, thanks for sitting in with me today. I greatly appreciate it. And I see you're wearing a Super Bowl champion shirt, but that doesn't look like there's an eagle on it.
No.
I think you got to catch up.
Yep, number 50. We got the Broncos Bo Nix today. We got a cupcake game with the Titans, so I can enjoy week 1.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. Like, subscribe, click, just do all sorts of crazy stuff. Check out markhokeshow.com. Podcasts are available at markhokeshow.podbean.com. It's all linked up on the website. Check it out. Guys, we'll see you next week. For Coach Rosey and myself, thank you so much for tuning in Las Vegas. We'll see you next time on The Mark Hoke Show. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.